What surprise, not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping.
Political and legal organizations. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, a federal state, and parliamentary democracy. This consists of 10 provinces and 3 territories. Queen Elizabeth is Queen of Canada and as such, chief of government of the country. Legislative power is exercised by the parliament is composed of 2 chambers. The upper house is Senate and House or House Common composed of members. Canada has 2 legal systems. Common law forms the basis of federal law, the provincial law from the law of its 3 territories. Of the current maple leaf flag in 1965, the implementation of official multiculturalism. In 1971, socially democratic programs were also instituted, such as Medicare, the Canada Pension Plan, and Canada student loans took provincial governments, particularly Quebec, and Alberta, opposing many of these as incursion into their jurisdiction. Main cities. Ottawa is the capital of the country. Other important cities are Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg. The currency. Unit of currency in Canada is the Canada dollar.
Hello to all our business. This is my honor to be today from Montreal in Canada. From here, I'm to present everything relative to the Montreal Jazz Festival, one of the most important jazz festivals in the world. Celebrates each year at the end of June. All the currents and trends of the jazz from the popularist until the latest innovation are received. There also roam some themes of blues, gospel, rock, and even pop and salsa. We live from Montreal, and I confirm that my colleague Eduardo already in the famous restaurant Manuelito, and we'll have an interview with his hours exclusive. Let him. But first, I will talk a little more about the culture here in Canada. Has received important influence of the culture and the British tradition in addition to the French. It has also been very influenced by American culture. Identity is owned, mainly due the growing national currents growing since 1967, the centenary year of the Canadian independence. It has a multicultural policy that reflects a variedly influence. Some of the characteristics of the culture are a more liberal in social. Example, homosexuals, marriage, legalization of the marijuana, universal health care, and a greater conservatism in fiscal balance and the good true taxes. Now, if we connect with Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. How are you? Where do this?
Canadian cuisine varies widely depending on the regions of the nation. The three earliest cuisines of Canada have First Nations, English, Scottish, and French roots, with the traditional cuisine of English Canada closely related to British and Scottish cuisines, while the traditional cuisine of French Canada has evolved from French cuisine and the winter provisions of fur traders, with subsequent waves of immigration in the 19th and 20th century from Central, Southern, and Eastern Europe and the Caribbean. The regional cuisine subsequently augmented. The traditional Aboriginal cuisine of Canada was based on the mixture of wild game, foraged foods, and farmed agricultural products. Each region of Canada, with its own First Nations and Inuit people, use the local recurse and own food preparation techniques for their cuisines. Maple syrup was first collected and used by Aboriginal people of Western Canada and Northeastern US. Canada is the world's largest producer of maple syrup. The origins of maple syrup production are not clear, though the first syrup were made by repeatedly freezing the collected maple sap and removing the ice to concentrate the sugar in the remaining sap. Maple syrup is one of the most commonly consumed Canadian foods of Aboriginal origins. Settlers and traders from the British Isles account for the culinary influences of early English Canada in the Maritimes and southern Ontario, while French settlers account for the cuisine of southern Quebec, North Ontario, and New Brunswick. Southern western regions of Ontario have a strong Dutch and Scandinavian influence. The cuisines of Newfoundland and Maritime provinces derive mainly from British and Irish cooking, with a preference for salt-cured fish, beef, and pork. Ontario, Manitoba, and British Columbia also maintain strong British cuisine traditions. Finally, we have the poutine. It's a common Canadian dish, originally from Quebec, made with French fries topped with a light brown gravy like a sauce and cheese crusts. This fast food dish can now be found across Canada and is also found in some places in the northern United States, although it is still exotic enough there to sometimes need describing. It is called and small, greasy spoon type dinners and pubs, as well as by roadside cheap wagons. National and international chains like New York Fries, McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King also sell mass-produced poutine in Canada. Poutine may also contain other ingredients such as bacon, beef, pulled pork, lamb, lobster, meat, shrimp, duck, or rabbit. Public holidays in Canada. Known as statutory holidays, state holidays, or simply stats, are legislated at the national, provincial, and territorial levels. Many of these holidays are observed nationwide, but each province and territory has its own holidays as well. While major Christian holidays such as Christmas and Good Friday are officially observed, leave is permitted for other religious holidays as well. For example, some school children and employees take days off for Jewish holidays, Muslim holidays, or Eastern Orthodox observances according to the Julian calendar. While not normally taken off work, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, Mother's Day, and Father's Day are traditionally observed by Canadians. The Celebrate Canada series is a collection of important cultural days beginning with the National Aboriginal Day in June 23, and followed by St. John Baptist Day in June 24, Canadian Multiculturalism Day
turned out, and I'll work to work it out. Promise you, kid, I'll give more than I get, than I get, than